Sma Shot Day is celebrated every year on the first Saturday in July in Paisley. It's a big parade, it's a great day out for all the family. But what was it about? What were the Weavers doing at the time? Where did they live? Where did they play? Let's pop around Paisley and see what we can see. So where did the Weavers work, where did they play, and where did they live? This is a perfect starting point at Sma Shot Cottages. Gives you a glimpse into 1856, when the strike happened and all the commotion began to unravel in Paisley. This is the Shaw warehouses in the bottom of George Street in Paisley. It was here on a Saturday that the Weavers would line up outside the office with their cloth to sell. This is where the argument all happened. They were selling their cloth and not getting enough money. To get in queue, the Weavers would send their kids to keep their place, because the Weavers would be in the house, getting all ready, getting dressed up for the Saturday to go away and spend their money. So it all began to happen here in the Shaw warehouses of Paisley when they didn't get enough money. So this is where it all started, at the Doozlin Stane here at Rowan Street and Neilson Road. It is here where the Charleston drum battered about the streets, making a noise, collecting all the Weavers, and they came to this spot, and the main speakers would stand on top of the Doozlin Stane and get the Weavers to go and strike against the big men. This is the Doozlin Stane as we know it here in Brodie Park. It's been removed from Rowan Street in 1896 or thereabouts, and it's here where Sma Shot starts every year, first Saturday in July.
While I love showing foreign visitors around the 18th and 19th century cottages, I just love showing off to our own Paisley buddies for the first time the wee historic gem that is the Sma Shot cottages. They're amazed at this wonderful history right on their doorsteps, which many of them have never known about. I helped to increase the opening of the cottages from 2 to 3 days when we had hoped to get the City of Culture 2021. Fridays gives all the same great benefits of Wednesdays and Saturdays, but we also serve terrific afternoon teas from 1 o'clock till 5, and we get a great return custom for our teas.
People of Paisley, Mark Ferguson, Unison Renfrewshire's Branch Secretary and Chair of the Scottish Local Government Committee. I would like to congratulate all those who made it possible for Sma Shot Day 2020 to continue to be celebrated during these unprecedented times. The victory of our Weavers in their political battle against their employers, the manufacturers of the 19th century, is as important today as it was back then. Today we would normally have taken part in the procession marching behind the Charleston drum, which was beaten through the streets of Paisley to summon the Weavers in times of trouble. After a long and hard struggle, the manufacturers backed down and the Weavers were paid for the Sma Shot. The Sma Shot was a cotton thread which bound the weft threads into colourful shawls. Our own local Unison banner includes the slogan, "Many threads, one fabric." And this is the perfect symbol of the solidarity we continue to show in light of the difficulties workers face nowadays. Today Unison was proud to have sponsored a special podcast involving the family of Jane Haney. Mary Miller, author of A Life of Love and Courage, the book written for Jane, and Pam Mitchell from the Dunscore Heritage Centre to commemorate Jane's service and sacrifice. She was the only Scotswoman known to have died at Auschwitz. Jane worked in the Giant P. Coates Ferguson Mill in Paisley for a number of years, prior to taking up post of matron in a Hungarian guild school. She was awarded Righteous Among the Nations in 1997 by Yad Vashem and British Hero of the Holocaust in 2010 by the British Government. It is hoped that Renfrewshire will have a permanent memorial to Jane sometime in the future. The COVID pandemic has changed our lives forever. However, as a community, we have come together, supporting, caring and considering each other. I would like to pay particular tribute to the public service and key workers who have continued to provide essential services during these difficult and challenging times. Their courage and determination have saved many lives and have provided a lifeline for our vulnerable and elderly. On behalf of all our members here at Unison Renfrewshire, can I finish by thanking you all. I know I speak for every one of them when I say that it is an honour to serve the community that we work and live in. Thank you.
Hi folks, my name's Maggie McCulloch and I've been involved in Sma Shot since 1986, since the very first parade.
Hi folks, my name's Dean. I'm also in part of Sma Shot as well.
Cool. Sma Shot for me is all about your pride in Paisley, and I know that we've looked in the past about, you know, why it's there, where the weavers won a victory for, you know, the Sma Shot, because it's an invisible thread and folk were out, you know, campaigning to be paid for it, and they actually won that victory. And I think that's dead exciting. That's what it's all about. But actually it's a bit more than that for me now. I've been involved in it for a long time, and it's about a pride about folk actually come out and take part in the parade, and folk are standing in the streets just applauding it on. And for me it's that pride. It's a pride in yourself, it's a pride for what it's about, a pride in your group and a pride in your town, and I think it gives us a really nice chance to showcase Paisley at its best.
Mine is the work up, running up to it, doing letters, consent forms, getting the kids together, getting them fitted, learning about the history of Sma Shot and the songs.
And it's, you know, we teach the kids the story about Sma Shot, what it was all about, so kids know why they're, you know, singing weave your blankets in your shawls. They know why they're singing all that and coming through the town. But so we've done that, but also we've collaborated with an awful lot of people as well. We've had folk like Carol Lola who wrote some great songs that we still sing coming along the street. We're working, we're weaving, we're sewing, we're stitching, so all of that. And right for Alan McNiven, who did a wee chant for us at the beginning, where we were giving it, we weave your blankets and your shawls, we stand together proud and tall for victory. Let me hear you call, we're workers one and all, burn our work. And for me, that's the bit it's all about. And once you get down there, there's all the celebrations and everything that's going on. But it's great, it's actually dead nice to be part of that. But there's a particular moment for me, I think it's about 1992, and it was probably one of the biggest groups that we had. We probably had about 100 people involved in it. And we decided that lots of the banners and wee mini banners and stuff the kids and people would be carrying would be purple. And we decided that we would use purple crepe paper, so the crepe papers hanging all over the place and Paisley patterns and all sorts of things. And we're up at Brodie Park, ready to go. Everybody's all excited, ready to go, and the next minute the heavens opened and it was absolutely lashing of rain. So we're all marching down singing, and every time I looked round somebody else had purple all over their face, had purple all their clays, the purple crepe paper was just running everywhere. And of course once we get back to the town hall, everybody kept saying, oh Maggie, if you're looking for any of your wains, they're there, see the purple ones? And their faces were all, it was absolutely, it was hilarious, it was dead funny, but it was great. It didn't matter whether the sun was splitting the trees or it was lashing of rain, folk still took part, the parade still happened.
Mine was make a banner with the
for the opening of the Scottish Parliament. That was very exciting for us because we took that whole weaving thread and we made an amazing banner which we took to the opening of the Scottish Parliament.
We done that with, what group was it?
Well, it was the banner making project, it was there because they were all over Scotland. We were representing the west of Scotland, and we've still got that banner, and that banner still marches in, it still marches along with us in the parade. It's excellent. So what about the future? What's 2021 going to be like?
Bigger and better.
Bigger and better, I would agree. And do you know what? I was looking through my scrapbooks and actually I found the original programme for 1986, which had Ta-Ta Bella and all that on it, which we've still got 2 shillings on it, 10 pence. But when you look at that and then you look at maybe some of the, I think this was 2016, it is bigger and better, but see that of its time, that was dead exciting as well. So it is bigger and better, but it grows And that's what I'm looking forward to. We should have had the City of Culture, of course, but you know what? It'll be the City of Culture, so we're looking forward. It'll be the Town of Culture. So looking forward to Paisley. So thanks very much, folks, and we'll see you in 2021. Thanks, bye.
Bye.
Hi, I'm Susan, and this year would have been my 4th year as a volunteer in the Sma Shot cottages. You would normally find me in the kitchen and the tea room on a Friday afternoon during the open season. Last year, the Sma Shot cottages were very pleased to welcome a brand new volunteer to their premises. A most presentable little lion appeared at the cottage door, offering his services free of charge. He informed us his name was Buddy Jr., and he is the great, possibly even greater grandson of Buddy the Lion, who is in hibernation from Paisley Museum at the moment, but well remembered and loved by many generations of Paisley buddies. He very quickly made himself at home and spent many an hour roaming round the cottages and gardens, hiding and leaving his claw clues around so that little visitors could learn something of the history of the weavers and other interesting facts about Paisley. He quickly developed a fan club, and some of our little visitors came back on a regular basis to see him. He is also a very generous little lion and is willing to share his stash with anyone who visits. Buddy Jr. is very photogenic and has been caught on camera by some of our lovely visitors from overseas who can even tell us a thing or two about their Paisley ancestors. We do have to say though that his favourite room is the tea room in the cottage, and if we weren't careful he would have more than the lion's share of the Friday afternoon teas which we normally offer. He is hoping, like all of us, that we will be able to reopen next April, and is busy printing off his puzzle sheets and sharpening his pencils. Meanwhile, everyone please stay safe, and we look forward to seeing you next year. Bye.
Hello there folks, how are you doing? Welcome to Sma Shot Day 2020. A Sma Shot Day with a difference, by jings. My name's Tony Lawler, for those of you who don't know me, and I bang the Charleston drum. I lead the Sma Shot parade. Before I talk about Sma Shot though, I want to say thank you, a great big thank you to all the NHS staff, to the carers, to the council staff and all the other key workers for keeping us safe, for working hard and keeping us safe and making sure we're okay throughout the COVID pandemic. So thank you folks. Now Sma Shot Day, Sma Shot, what's it all about? Well, one of the things is it's one of the oldest, if not the oldest, workers' festival in the world. It celebrates the workers or the weavers' victory over the mill owners. Basically, what it was about was there was the Sma Shot's a strengthening stitch and a weave, and it had to go in every 6 lines or something like that. And they didn't get paid for it because you couldn't see the Sma Shot stitch. So, because it was crucial, they took action, and I'm not sure what the industrial action was, but it was successful. As a result of that, they got paid for the Sma Shot, and traditionally the weavers had the first Saturday in July as a holiday. They normally went down the water, down to Saltcoats or whatever. So they renamed that Sma Shot Day, had their festival and gala. Now this had been going since the 1856 or something like that, up until the mid-1970s, and it stopped. And then in 1985, 1986 I think, I'm not sure when it was, Danny Kyle, a local folk singer, a famous folk singer actually from Paisley, and another, as part of a group of people, got together and resurrected the Sma Shot celebration, because it's important that we remember our culture and heritage. So since 1986 the festival's grown and it's gone from strength to strength. And I was asked the other day about a fond memory of Sma Shot Day, and I've been banging the drum since the early 90s, leading the parade since the early 90s. I've got millions and hundreds of memories about it. I can't pick one in particular. Well, there is one I could pick, and I will, and that was the first time my big pal Jim brought me a beer from the Wellington, and we stopped the parade and I had the beer, And that started a bit of a tradition. So every year there's a stop at the Wellington and I get a pint of lager. But what's happened over the past 10 years maybe, the other pubs, the Charleston Arms, the Tannehills, the Clachan Bar and the Balnagowan, they come out now. And I get a wee half or a half pint or a pint, I get a drink. So by the time I get to the Welly or the Wellington, I'm feeling pretty way. But it's really nice, you know, it's a real nice thought. It's nice because it's getting local businesses involved as well. Local people love it. But I suppose the best thing for me about the parade is leading the parade and listening to all the cheers, the kids' smiles, people applauding, Paisley buddies enjoying themselves and celebrating their history. That's what it's about. That's it. That's what it's about. I was also asked what I would like to see happening in the future for Sma Shot. Well, I want it to continue. I want the celebrations and the parade to continue, obviously. I'm intending to bang the drum for the next 90 years. But more importantly, I want everyone to stay safe and healthy and see you next year. In the words of that great orator, Arnold Schwarzenegger, we'll be back. We'll be there banging a drum, celebrating our history, celebrating our culture. Come on, the Paisley Weavers. Thank you very much, folks. Take care, stay safe. Bye just now.